Okay, well, hello everyone. My name is Max Lee. I'm the founder and the CEO of OORT, a cloud infrastructure solution provider for decentralized AI. And in the meanwhile, I'm a faculty member at the Columbia University working with the electrical engineering department. And my research interests are blockchain and AI. I've been teaching graduate level courses at Columbia for about AI and the blockchain courses about 7 or 8 years. So yeah, and the DeSci is very important for us basically. So thank you.
So, because today our topic is about building sustainable ecosystems in DeSci, so I'll start with the opening question. So, would you like to share with us a key initiative that you are currently working on that contribute to the sustainable ecosystem in DeSci?
Yeah, I want to share a little bit about data because you just shared about the data security and the privacy. I think one key factor for the success of DeSci is about data, right? So because this is an area that I'll be focusing on for quite a while because we're building the infrastructure for decentralized AI. And let me share quite a few facts. First of all, we know that in the past 3 years, all the data we created in the past 3 years is larger than all the data we created in the past 1,000 years, right? And the second is by 2026, which is coming next year. So we're gonna have no high quality data available online for AI training because we know that ChatGPT-5 actually already used all the available online data. So, and this is very important for research when we talk about the sustainability of DeSci or scientific research. So moving forward, data is the key factor. So not computing power. Computing power will not be a problem in the coming years. The NVIDIA GPU cards are going to be cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, just like the internet, right? So this happened like 20 years ago. So algorithm is not a big deal because now we have many more. We're going to see more open source models like a DeepSeek, like a Llama, right? It could be more in the coming years. So the only missing piece is about the data. So as a researcher, how can I quickly get high quality data for my research? Is there a platform which I can use, or is there a mature channel I can use with low cost, right? So for these big companies like say Microsoft, they can purchase high quality data from Reddit, from LinkedIn, from Twitter. They pay money for it. But as a professor at Columbia or other professors in other universities, your research fund cannot support that the purchase of this high quality data for our research, right? So we need a channel or platform for this built for these scientific researchers or professors to quickly collect and high quality data for their research. I think this is the key factor for the sustainability of this DeSci or in general science.
Awesome. Yeah, as we addressed a little bit actually for my next question. Okay, let's move on to our first official question. As we mentioned a little bit before, because decentralized science demands solid foundations, including technical, organizational, and financial. So is there any critical pieces of infrastructure do you see missing right now? And how can we build a resilient DeSci ecosystem that supports your varied domains?
Well, I would say it's not only one missing piece. It's so many missing pieces. All right. So because DeSci is a very big concept. We're missing many building blocks in terms of infrastructure. Let's just use. Let me give you some examples, right? So because let's still use the data, research data as one example. So there's no platforms for people to quickly collect high quality data for their research. For example, there's a professor at Columbia University in the law school. He want to do research to build a patent lawyer, but AI agent who can write a patent. So you know that companies pay lots of money to the patent lawyers to write a patent, and it's very slow, right? And there's lots of know-how and the knowledge learning curve for these patent lawyers to learn your technology and to write it down and file it to the government, to the office. So the AI can do it in minutes, right? But then the problem is this. So the professor has an idea on how to build a model, and has an idea how to train it using the data set to train the model, but there's no data. He needs data from all these patent lawyers, but no law firms want to contribute that data, right? So the professor asked his PhD to talk to the patent lawyers one by one and make a deal with them, but the progress you can imagine is almost a mission impossible, right? Because he needs like tens of thousands of filed patents from these patent lawyers with their comments, their criteria in writing, right? So because he needs to train the model. So this is a very strong demand from just this particular case, right? If we can have such a channel, like a platform with like all the lawyers around the world on that platform can contribute their intelligence, their knowledge, their something, right, to help the professor to build their model together. So this is going to be for the public goods, right? So, and the second thing is, like I want to say, that we're missing this platform. So the platform is not simple, like get some coders, write it down. We need lots of things, right? We need a blockchain. We need to protect the data. We need a security layer, and we need an infrastructure layer. We need many technology layers there, right? And the second is, I want to say, for DeSci, for some of the DeSci projects, we even don't need tokens, right? So once you have token, yeah, you can use the token to launch token, like to raise funds or something like that. But for sometimes you don't even need tokens. You know, the very wild DeSci project years ago is SETI from Berkeley, right? So SETI successfully secured like tens of thousands of volunteers. They contribute their computers to do the image processing from telescope, right? So to do analysis, find the signals of aliens, right? But they're all for free. They're all volunteers. They do this job for public goods. So imagine that if SpaceX, let's say Elon, send an email to everybody in the world, let's say, I need some data from you to do my research. I mean, we know his mission, his vision and mission, right? Send people to Mars. So for me, I will not ask even a single penny from Elon. I say, you should pay me for that. I will contribute my data if you think my data is useful, right? Just tell me what data you need, right? So for many times, especially in science, people may not ask for incentives in many cases. If you do have a brilliant idea about some good research, so people wish to contribute, wish to be part of the journey. So that's people gonna feel proud of themselves. So yeah, that's another something. I mean, overall, I would say it's a long journey to go. There's many missing pieces and the building blocks missing, but we need to work together and go further. Right.
Thank you for sharing. That is really inspiring. Okay, so addressing about data, as we discussed a little bit, one of DeSci's main promises is to give researchers ownership of their data and IP. How do we balance privacy, security, and open collaboration on a decentralized network? Do you have any ideas about that?
Yeah, I want to add to this topic by sharing some of my own experience. So I think the technology, the advanced technology, could be very contributing to balancing the privacy, security, and IP about all around data. For example, like the technology. This is one of my own research interests as well. The federated learning. Maybe you guys already heard about this name before. So it's a new type of machine learning architecture that you don't need to send your data to the model owner for the model training. For example, like let me give you one example. Let's say the Face ID, right? So we all use Face ID on a daily basis. So these are your personal data. Every time you use Face ID, so your phone just collect your facial data, right? Your features, characters, and then make it more accurate. But the model gonna use your data for training. But of course, you don't send your data in your phone, your facial information to Apple. Basically, they can use a federated learning architecture. Is like the model is in their server, but then your data stay in your phone, and then they do this type of training without fetching your data from your phone to their data center. All right, so this is a type of, I don't have time to dive into the details of the technology, but this is something like the people are exploring these days. I think this is very powerful and useful technology to provide, to protect your data privacy. Your data stays where they are, and then they can use your data for model training without like everybody just send data to the agency or sent to the company or the professor, and they can use the data. So yeah, and another layer is a blockchain. So blockchain can help a lot on data authentication or data integrity, because we all know blockchain is nothing but the ledger, right? So, and this ledger is immutable, you cannot make any changes. But of course, all your data will be stored not on blockchain. So blockchain cannot store your data. So your data will be like your terabyte data. So data will be in server, but the hash of your data will be recorded on blockchain. So, and this can guarantee that whenever your data is used, so you can, before you use the data, you can first check if the data is the original data. No one manipulate data, right? So you can easily check the hash and compare it with the blockchain record, and then you can tell that, oh, this data is original data. So I would say the technologies from different aspects can definitely contribute to the data privacy, security, and IP and ownership, all these type of things. So,
okay, thank you.